Very recently, a Minecraft developer over on Twitter did say something that the community is kind of upset with, although some people do agree with what this developer did come out and say. There are many which do feel that this is actually one of the reasons that the community is so upset with Minecraft right now. With that being said, everyone, be sure to watch this video till the very end and drop it a like if you happen to enjoy it. Comment your thoughts throughout as we progress, and let's dive right into it. So everyone, the developer we're going to be talking about today is Felix. I'm sure you've all saw this developer active on Twitter or saying a few things every now and again, but basically, as you all probably know, Felix is actually working at Mojang right now on Minecraft, and recently something was said by Felix which did upset quite a few people. Let's look at this first tweet. It says, "Your typical Minecraft idea from the community goes like this. Let's add flying magic carpet. But you can already fly with elytra. Okay, but magic carpets don't take damage. Then why would you use the elytra? Because magic carpets are more expensive and rare." So it's very difficult to get the idea of what Felix is trying to say here, but the original point does kind of shine through. Although it's difficult to express what Felix is trying to say here, basically it is explaining the frustration of working at Mojang and having so many people submit ideas for the game which the developers deem useless. The good example here which is used is flying carpets. Although I do not see many people asking for this in particular, we have saw this in the past where people have asked for something and the developers do claim it is useless. So I think what Felix is trying to say here is that the developers do not really understand the frustration of people asking for items where there is already something similar in Minecraft. So let's use this for an example. Some people have been asking for the ability to make a nether boat or an obsidian boat, where it is literally just a boat that can be used in the nether. However, Mojang have added the strider, which can be used to traverse across lava. So what I'm assuming is that Mojang would say that obsidian boats are useless because the strider is already in the game and does fulfill the same purpose. We'll get to this in a moment and why this actually upsets people, but let's continue to look through the tweets first. Felix then did continue by saying, then why would you use the magic carpet if elytra is easier to get, even if they take damage? Because the magic carpet is faster. Eventually the idea ends up including nerfing the stuff already in the game to justify the new idea. Pretty much 90% of player ideas are like this. So that's a pretty bold statement there. What Felix is saying is that the majority of the suggestions for Minecraft features are like this, and although that could be true, I disagree. I saw the majority of the suggestions being for new biomes, new dimensions, new mobs. I've never really saw anyone asking for magic flying carpets or anything similar to what we've already got in game, but I'll take Felix's word for it. Let's continue. There's just one more tweet to go over, guys. It is from a user that did reply saying, let's add diamond armor. Okay, but you already have armor with iron, but it gives you more armor. Then what's the point of iron armor? Because diamond armor is more rare and expensive. Then why would you use diamond armor if iron is easier to get, even if you have less armor? So that is a user there kind of picking fun at this statement made by Felix, and I do agree with this. Like, the argument starts to fall apart very quickly. What Felix is saying is that the developers do not want to add similar things to what we've already got in game because it would make them more useless and it would reduce their effectiveness. However, as this user greatly replied, why did they add things like armor tiers and different armor sets? Because it makes the previous armor more useless, even even though the rarer armor is harder to get, and yeah, it just starts to fall apart very quickly. I'm sure the full meaning of Felix's statement is not coming through properly, and I'm sure it could have been worded a bit better, but the argument as a whole just does not hold up. This kind of ties into people asking for more armor in game. I've saw people asking for things like copper armor, and the developers always kind of say that why would we add copper armor and things like emerald armor when they would be useless and they would be weaker than what's already in the game. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that they said they would not add copper armor or emerald armor because then it would undermine the usefulness of iron armor and diamond armor, but as I mentioned earlier, that just is not the case. The reason Minecraft has different armor sets is because they give you different protection based on how hard the armor is to craft. So naturally, because leather armor is the easiest to make and the easiest to get your hands on, it gives you the least protection. Then it goes up, there's obviously iron, which gives you more protection, gold, which although rarer gives you less protection, there's diamond, and then the highest tier, which is netherite. And this just shows how insecure what the developers are trying to say actually is. This just does not make sense. If the developers do believe that diamond armor was good enough, why would they then come out and add netherite? It just does not make sense. The reason people want new items in game is because they would upgrade on what we already have, and it would be so much more fun and add a sense of progression. Honestly, I understand why the developers say this, and it does make sense to a certain degree, but I believe if they continuously try to do this and they do not want to add more items, that's just really going to ruin the game and just make things less fun. Minecraft has always been about progression. I personally prefer the approach games like Terraria take, where although they've got multiple items which may overlap, with some being more useful than others and some potentially even being useless, I prefer the variety. And when developers come out and they're disregarding allegedly 90% of the suggestions players make, I think that's definitely harmful for the game. If people are asking for them, they want them for a reason. I'll never forget this video I saw of Notch just playing around back in the day and working on Minecraft, and in the background to this video you could just see Notch messing around with explosive arrows. Why? Not because they're meant to be some groundbreaking feature, not because they're meant to change the game, not because they're meant to be extremely valuable or useful, just because they're fun. And I think that's what Minecraft should be about. I think it should be fun, and I think there should be variety. Even if Mojang go through the effort to add copper armor and people do not use it and people think it's useless, at least it's there for the players that do like it. If Mojang do add emerald armor and it's weird and not many people like it, at least there's some people that will like it. Be sure to let me know your thoughts about this down below in the comments. I understand the points Felix were trying to make with this tweet, but I think at the end of the day it is not the best approach Mojang should be taking. Minecraft is meant to be a sandbox, not just a box of very limited items. I believe the more items the better. Not every item has to have some extreme fundamental use. I just think as long as they're fun and they make sense and they're logical changes, and I think that's fine. Let me know your thoughts, but it's been me, ItzJhief. Everyone have an amazing day and I'll see you all tomorrow. Goodbye.